Heading to the polls maybe right now as they opened 2 minutes ago.
Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump made their final push to voters yesterday, but that's of course not the only race at stake today. There are also several local mayoral races up for grabs and statewide ballot questions that could have a real impact on where we live.
Team coverage for you on this Tuesday morning. Joe Cortez standing by with more on the local mayoral races, especially one that's garnering a lot of attention. A little bit later, Sophia Szabo breaking down the Rhode Island ballot questions.
First, though, Kristen Burnell joins us live with the latest on the race for the White House. Kristen.
Well, about 77 million Americans have already voted early, but the polls are officially opened here and across southern New England. But all eyes are on that presidential election as it's expected to be a very close race. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump made their final push to be the next president of the United States, making campaign stops yesterday. Trump kicked things off in North Carolina before traveling to Pennsylvania and Michigan. Harris also spent the day in the swing state of Pennsylvania. The latest polls show Harris and Trump are locked in a tie, each earning 48.3% support nationally. Each candidate will need at least 270 electoral votes to win.
When we win the election and we're really well, look, the ball's in our hand. All we have to do is get out the vote tomorrow. You get out the vote, they can't do anything about it. We win.
One more day in the most consequential election of our lifetime, and the momentum is on our side. We are optimistic and we are excited about what we can do together.
Now, Harris will spend the election day in Washington, D.C., while Trump will spend in Florida with his viewing party being held tonight. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll have a preview of some of the local congressional races happening in our area this election day. For now, reporting for 12 News, I'm Kristen Burnell.
In addition to the presidential, congressional, and statewide races, there are several local mayoral races happening in Cranston, Woonsocket, Warwick, Cumberland, and Pawtucket. Joe Cortez joins us now live in Cranston, where that race is gaining a lot of attention, Joe.
Big story of the day, of course, Election Day. Polls have been open now for 33 minutes, 47 seconds.
But who's counting, right?
Right, they close at 8 o'clock tonight.
So we expect to know the results of the local races shortly after 8 o'clock tonight, but we don't know when we'll find out who the next president will be. Most polls showing the race between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris in a dead heat. And in addition to the presidential race, we're keeping an eye on Congress, where the power of both the House and Senate is at stake.
Kristen Burnell joining us now live with the very latest on congressional races in our area. The polls are open. Kristen, what's the volume of traffic been like for you there?
Well, this morning, Republican Patricia Morgan will be casting her ballot here in West Warwick, which has already been pretty busy this morning as she is running for the U.S. Senate seat in Rhode Island. She's running against opponent Democratic incumbent Sheldon Whitehouse, who has held that seat since 2007. The candidate who wins this race will serve a 6-year term that starts in January. Also in Rhode Island, voters will decide on the U.S. representative in Congress, with GOP candidate Stephen Corvey hoping to unseat Congressman Seth Magaziner. In Massachusetts, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren is running for her 3rd term in the U.S. Senate against her opponent, Republican attorney John Deaton. We spoke with 12 News politics editor Ted Nesi about these congressional races and where they currently stand amongst voters.
Both Sheldon Whitehouse and Elizabeth Warren have healthy double-digit leads in the final polls that came out over the weekend. Both Democratic incumbents. Not a surprise that they're winning. These are Democratic states generally at the federal level, but still, in both cases, you had Republicans who tried different approaches to try to bring down those numbers. No real sign there was any real appetite to move on from that. So once again, we've seen the Republican Party weaken significantly in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, with Charlie Baker leaving.
Now, the polls will close at 8 o'clock tonight in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Reporting in West Warwick, Kristen Burnell, 12 News.